3, 2, 1, go!
First of all, I just want to say that was a fantastic job using pancreatic cancer to win a tiny plastic trophy. It's been pretty cold recently. My opponent is from Chicago, and she loves the cold, so it's been making her really happy. Not that I want to sway your opinion. Hindsight is, of course, superior to foresight. Foresight does not exist except in hindsight. Nobody says, I have the foresight. They say, I had the foresight. Claiming that you have foresight in foresight is not just bad manners, it's wrong. You can only know and identify foresight in hindsight. Comparing the two is nonsense, as one is merely a part of the other. This settles the argument. And yet I know this competition is far from settled. Caitlin Parrish, my mean-spirited opponent, is an excellent writer. She writes for television. I write for my blog, which today got 78 hits, most of which were from me checking to see how many hits it got. This is the person she felt necessary to accuse of being a pedophile to win a tiny plastic trophy. And yet, we're friends. Caitlin and I have actually collaborated on a screenplay together. It's about 4 musicians who are in a Nazi prison camp during World War II. It's kind of like Jersey Boys meet Schindler's List. Jesus. Yeah, I know. I pitch it way better than she does. If anyone has $60 million, this is definitely a movie you should make. You will not get your money back, but you will learn a lot in hindsight. Now, friends as we are, I've never competed against Caitlin in anything, so I asked frequent Right Club combatant Mike O'Connell for his advice. He's gone up against her on more than one occasion. I said, what are her strengths, her weaknesses? And Mike O'Connell said nothing. For a week, nothing. And this morning, I received a terse Facebook message. I'll try to do it like he would have had. This is like asking me how to defeat Athena. No advice can prepare you for her strength or emotional fortitude. That worked better if you know Michael O'Connell. Yes, Caitlin Parrish has so many deathless cups of deathless fucking glory that if she used them as shot glasses, she could get legendary alcoholic Ernest Hemingway so fucked up that he couldn't aim a shotgun at his own face. Think how great that would have been in hindsight. True. The disparity between our two talents is so enormous that I asked Caitlin who could have possibly thought this matchup was a good idea, and she told me she came up with it. A nice foresight there, Caitlin. We can all see that in hindsight. This is a battle like David versus Goliath, Rocky versus Apollo Creed, Art Garfunkel versus Paul Simon. But maybe I should stop complaining about our matchup, because there is an advantage to being the underdog. The underdog has nothing to lose, but the overdog has everything to lose. It must really suck to have so much to lose. I wouldn't know. In truth, the underdog almost never wins. David never really beats Goliath, and when he does, it's usually because there's an even bigger Goliath on David's side. If you remember in that scene in the Bible, God is on David's side. It's hard to call someone an underdog when they have the omnipotent creator of the universe backing them up. It's an overdog if I've ever heard of one. In hindsight, this essay should probably have been more focused. In hindsight, I should not have reminded you so many times what a great writer Caitlin Parrish is. In hindsight, I should have made a joke about Dick Cheney, because even though he hasn't been in power for like 4 years, liberals, we still love making jokes about Dick Cheney. So here, let's try it. Dick Cheney is so evil.
How evil is he?
He's really fucking evil. But my pandering Dick Cheney jokes probably aren't going to win me this cup. And maybe my subtle attempt to paint myself as the underdog was a miscalculation. Maybe I should have stood up here and just said, hindsight is 20/20, hindsight is 20/20, over and over and over for 7 minutes, and then sat down. It's impossible to know beforehand, but afterwards, in hindsight, it's all so clear. It is clear. In a last-ditch effort to win, allow me to remind you that Caitlin Parrish, talented writer and performer as she is, considers Chicago more of a home than Los Angeles, and that that's where she's probably sending her charity money. We know this from her previous entries in this competition in hindsight. Now me, well, I don't want to spoil it. But let me just say that my charity will keep the money within the Los Angeles city limits. And that puppies depend on it. Puppies. And that these puppies will die. If you vote for Caitlin, you fucking puppy killers. So I hope you have the foresight to make the right choice, which I should clarify is hindsight. Thank you.